When it comes to PDA and praise, it isn't the case that praise doesn't work, period. It's more that there is a technique to praising a PDA person. What matters is how they are praised and what you are praising. The usual answer given to the question, why is praise not good for PDAers, is that the child will perceive it as a demand, or that they may cotton on that whatever they are being praised for might be expected of them again. But there are also other reasons why praise doesn't work. Let's take an all too common example of a PDA child who rips up their homework upon being praised by the teacher. There are multiple reasons why this is a complete disaster. The teacher places too much focus and emphasis on the outcome and not the process. The teacher cares about the standard required of the student, that they complete the homework. The process of doing the homework may not even be acknowledged by the teacher, let alone praised. Doing the homework did not come naturally to the PDA child, and therefore praising a child for doing or completing their homework is an attempt by the teacher to cultivate a masked or false version of the child. So what, if anything, could the PDA child in this example be praised for? Is it not obvious? Ripping the homework up. Why? Because what could be a more natural feat for the PDA child? Ripping up their homework, especially in front of the teacher and the rest of the class, is the PDA child's true self smashing to the fore, asserting itself on the situation, refusing to allow the teacher to invalidate them. It's their way of saying, "This is who I really am, you foul wankfish." So where doing the homework did not come naturally to the PDA child, ripping up the homework does, and that is why they would rather be congratulated for this rather than doing it. What else could be praised in this example? The amount of energy and demand tolerance the PDA child would have to muster up to produce an acceptable piece of homework might be appreciated. Not the completion of the work per se, but recognising just how tortuous a process it would be for an autistic person with a PDA profile to fight every inch of their being to do something meaningless for someone else. Well, that's only if you believe that doing homework is important. I don't. I think that setting children work to do at home is a violation of their human rights. But, if you insist, let us please acknowledge the effort involved in the process more than the completion of the homework or meeting the required standard. As for how the child is praised, well, who says that praise should be synonymous with banal compliments anyway? Saying, "well done," or "bravo," may not only be perceived as demanding, but it is suggestive that what has been achieved means more to the praiser than to the praisee. It also comes across as insincere and patronising. As I said before, make a considerable effort to pay attention to the process leading up to the completion of the work and not the outcome. When is it good to praise? Well, when they do something that comes naturally to them, unlike doing their homework, a task unilaterally set by someone else, and when they specifically ask for feedback. It's that simple. Has the PDA in your life produced a painting? Perhaps commenting on the attention to detail and asking questions about their use of colour is more effective than just throwing a compliment at them. It's not that praise doesn't or never works, it's that when it comes to PDA, there is a technique or an art to praise. If they achieve something that comes naturally to them during a flow state, when they request feedback, proceed, but do so cautiously. If you throw banal compliments aimed at the completion of the work, it may backfire. Instead, I invite you to briefly yet authentically remark on what you see. "Oh wow," and then dispassionately ask questions about the process. Really take an interest, not just in what they've done, but how they did it. Simply listening to and holding space for an autistic person who is talking about their special interests may be all that is required. You don't need to feign enthusiasm. Are you surprised that they balk and bristle when they react badly to you praising them for finally putting on their school uniform or doing their homework? You shouldn't be. These things don't come naturally to them. They are, if you are this sort of person, what you want them to do. It is one-sided. In order to restore the balance, they have to reverse your joy upon detecting that the thing you are praising them for means more to you than them. In fact, when you praise them for such things, it is at their expense. So, their hostile reaction is nothing more than their restoring the balance. A reasonable response. To praise the PDA child for something you want them to do that does not come naturally to them is to attempt to cultivate a masked or false version of them. Their only choice in this situation is to restore the balance and assert their authenticity and autonomy by bringing about the polar opposite of the positive emotion that you are experiencing at their expense. Praise and PDA is about knowing what to praise, things that come naturally to them, what not to praise, the things you and you alone expect them to achieve at their expense, and knowing how to praise, more focus on and displaying interest in the process and not focusing exclusively on the outcome at which you launch banal compliments.